Hello everybody, this is Lori from Lori Designs, and today I wanted to go over some different types of clay that I use when making my little sculptures and charms. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to kind of show you what I've been working on lately and what kind of clay I actually use. So we'll get started. The very first thing is Super Sculpey, okay? Now, Super Sculpey for me is a really great clay. It's very versatile. It looks like this. It's sort of like a flesh tone color. You can also get it in gray. I prefer the flesh tone just because I like to paint some of my things after they've baked. So this particular type of clay is very firm. And we need to make sure that you condition it well before you use it. But once you've conditioned it, it works really, really well in keeping some fine details and allowing you to get all of that texture in there that you want with your pieces. So I'm going to show you a couple of things really quick. So these are some little dragons that I actually sculpted a little while ago, and I haven't yet had a chance to paint them. They've been sitting on my desk here in my studio. Here's another one, and as you can see, they bake up sort of like a beige color. So what I will do with these is I will prime them first, and then I'll go ahead and I'll paint them. Here is another little sculpture that I did, and this was very, this was a lot of fun to do. This is the little guy in the seashell. Now, there is an artist out there that does these, and I did a tutorial from her, and I will be posting her name and link in the description below. Okay, so you'll be able to see her, but he was a lot of fun to make. Here's another one by the same artist. I watched a tutorial, but I went a little different and did this one in a milkweed pod. And you can see this particular clay allows you to work with it quite a bit. Lots of texture, lots of fun there. Without having to worry about it getting really soft on you and not being able to touch it for a little while because it just wants to melt in your hands. Very cute. I still have to paint him though. Okay, then we go on to Sculpey III. Now, I have a lot of this clay. I did find though with Sculpey III, when trying to make really tiny little charms, that because of my hands, it warmed the clay up a little too quickly, and the next thing I knew, I had really soft clay. I was having a really difficult time making the little charms that I was wanting to make. But I will show you an example. So this is an example of this little cupcake that I made. It's a little cupcake charm. This is done with Sculpey III. And it was very doable, but it was a bear to work with. Here's another little charm here. This is a little donut. Very, very cute. The little bite out of him. Now this one, it wasn't so difficult because you're not really handling the charm a lot while you're making it. So it works well for this type of craft project. Things that you're not going to be handling a lot, it works really, really well for. I have a lot of it here at the house, and I wanted to try to use it up. But I did go ahead and decide to buy some Sculpey Primo because I kept hearing that Primo was a little more firm. So I purchased a sampler pack, and it actually came with much more than this. But the sampler packs, because this is going to be a color scheme for my next project, I find that I like the Primo a lot better. It holds up really well. It keeps the details for you. It doesn't tend to get so soft so quickly. So if you were going to get started in doing crafts and doing charms and doing a little bit of sculpting, I would definitely say go with the Primo first. The Sculpey 3 is just going to give you a lot of frustration. So with the Primo, I started doing these little guys. Now, these are little fairy houses, and I gotta tell you guys, these are very much inspired by Jenny Sorensen, and she's amazing. She does a lot of very similar work to this. She is with Wishing Well Workshop, another link that I will post below in my description if you want to go take a look. Definitely worth checking her out. She's got a lot of beautiful, beautiful work. But the really nice thing about the Primo is it allowed me to go through and do the majority of this without having to keep putting it down because it was getting too warm and too soft. Another example. Now these are really super fun to do. As you can tell, I've made a couple of them. I even use some UV resin to kind of create a little bit of a water effect there in the bucket. Really, really happy with the Primo clay. I really enjoy using that. Now, one of the other applications for the Super Sculpey that I find comes in really handy was I recently got asked to do a custom pop figure to look like a good friend of mine. So I decided that the Super Sculpey would be the best bet, and it adheres really well to the pop figure. I'm working with, right now, I'm working with the DIY figures, okay? So they come already primed. And I find that the clay stuck really well to the figure. So here's what we did. I created the hair on his head, sculpted out his ears a little more, put a couple of piercings in his ears, his nice eyebrows. My friend likes to walk around in his shorts and t-shirts all the time, and his little sneakers and his socks. And the really cool thing about this stuff is I was still able to bake everything in the oven at the manufacturer's recommended temperature, and I didn't have any issues whatsoever. So I was really super happy about that. All right, guys, well, that was pretty much it for tonight. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to see a different type of tutorial perhaps, or if you would like me to review a different product, I do a lot of different craft projects, and I have a lot of craft supplies. So if you have anything that you would be interested in me reviewing, I would gladly like to hear those comments below. And if you enjoy the videos, please, please do me a favor, subscribe to my channel. It's going to help me tremendously get out there. And also don't forget to click on the bell, because that'll keep you abreast of any new content that I happen to post on YouTube. All right, guys, appreciate you taking the time. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.